everyone, welcome back to another video. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and join me on this journey. Hi guys, it is so good to be back with another video. I hope you are all well. I hope everyone's weekend is going great. So as you can see by the title, for today's video, I would love to talk about self-love and definitely self-reflection. Those two things are very, very, very important. And to be honest, for the past, I want to say at least 2 years, self-love and self-reflection has been two important factors in my life. I've definitely grown a lot. I've definitely have seen growth in myself. So I feel like that's very, exciting, especially for me, because I literally feel like I'm on this journey of loving myself, really taking time to sit back and reflect. And especially in quarantine, I know we're all just home, just thinking and everything. And I feel like these two topics are very important to cover. So yeah guys, stay tuned. I feel like this video is going to be really good. It's something that I've really been wanting to talk about. And yeah guys, we're just going to jump right into it. So guys, we're going to get into our first topic, which is self-love. If you are someone who's going on this journey right now, or if you're thinking about going through your own journey of self-love, let me tell you, it has been so amazing. I want to start off by saying that I wasn't really in a very good place. I want to say the year of 2018, maybe going into 2019, I wasn't in a really good place. And I want to say that I wasn't in a good place with myself, meaning that I wasn't feeling very happy. I feel like I wasn't, really doing the things that I was capable of. I wasn't pushing myself. And I really felt like I ended up having a wake-up call, because literally, I want to say towards the ending of 2018, I was just like, no, I need to get my ish together. I need to get it together. I need to start really, just focusing on myself and really just trying to be the best version of myself. And I want to say with a lot of things, like financially, mentally, emotionally, I was literally all over the place. And it's so crazy how between last year and this year, I've really figured out a lot of stuff that I'm like, wow, I never knew about myself. And what I want to say too, starting off, is that when it comes to self-love, I feel like that is something that is so important, because think about it. If someone I feel like when people used to ask me, if someone asks you this question, do you love yourself? You're gonna be, yeah, people think automatically, why would I not love myself? You know what I mean? Yeah, I love myself. And then when people ask, what do you love about yourself? You know what I mean? What are some of the things that you love about yourself? Believe it or not, some people probably can't answer that question. And for me, I know for sure, at least a year ago, I would have not been able to answer that question. And I feel like at least now I can definitely answer that question, especially with the situations I've been through, what I've learned, just by doing different things. It's so crazy. I literally feel like with all the situations that I've been through and everything, I've really learned so much about myself. For example, last year is when I finally, went back to school, and I was in a situation where I owed my school money. And literally that year, I was just like, I want to go back to school. Literally everything I was telling myself, I was like, I'm gonna do. I was like, I want to go back to school. I need to pay this off. I need to make this happen. And literally right after I said that, it was just I was literally putting all my money to the side, every, I want to say, week or something, putting money towards that, paying it off. And then I finally paid it off. And I think the fact that I made that happen alone, that was the first time in my life where I felt wow, I said I was going to do something and I did it. And I felt like that made me love myself even more, to see that I was capable of actually getting things done. Because a lot of the times we hold ourselves back, we say we're going to do things, we talk a lot. Listen, we talk about, oh, I want to do this, I want to try to do this, I'm going to do this and this and that, and we ended up not getting done. And sometimes it gets pushed to the side a lot. And so I feel like sometimes, you know what I mean, you really just need to literally push yourself. You really need to have those little conversations with yourself, listen, I need to make sure that I do what I said I'm gonna do. Like, I need to make sure that this gets done. So yeah, guys, paying off my school, being able to go back into school, that was the first time where I was just like, wow, like I really, you know what I mean? I did that. Like, I did it. The second thing which made me really love myself is me actually, me starting this YouTube channel was like a big thing for me. I've been saying I wanted to do this probably since like 2015, and I kept saying it and saying it and saying it, and finally this year I was like, listen, I've been saying I wanted to do this for a while. I need to get it done. I literally bought a camera, I bought my own ring light, I started buying things that I needed. Not that I really needed those things to start, but I wanted those things, and I knew that once I got those things, it was kind of just like, all right, now you bought those things, like, you really need to get it started. Like, you have your own camera now what is your excuse? So literally, after I got those things, like I said, I literally started my channel, and in the process, just editing, like, so many different things, like, about editing and everything like that. Like, I never knew that I was gonna be into that. And even when I started taking classes last semester, my professor literally, one of my professors would make us go out and interview people. He would make us, you know, do videos, you know, play around with different things. Even writing, like, I feel like my writing got better, and it's just like, I landed my own internship. So it's just kind of just like, I never knew that I was gonna be, I knew I love writing, but I never knew that I was gonna be into editing. And like, it's just crazy how it's just like, now that I'm doing all these things, I'm realizing like, wow, like, I really love doing this. Like, especially with vlogging. I knew I wanted to vlog, but I always thought like, hey, like, I might be too shy to vlog. And then once I got out vlogging, it kind of just came kind of naturally. And in the process, I loved myself even more, just to see that I was capable of doing, you know, all these things, you know, vlogging, you know, going out in public, and really just me putting myself out there. I'm not someone that puts myself out there, and the fact that I was watching myself flourish and do that, that definitely made me love myself even more. So guys, I really want to talk about, I just want to jump right into self-reflection, because for me, my journey with self-reflection really ties into self-love, because I started looking, literally, once, let me tell you something. Once you look at yourself, or once people are constantly telling you things about yourself that, you know, well, people, okay, this is so like, I don't even know how to start this, because this is something that is just so, like, I love talking about things like this. And I feel like once you really look at yourself in the mirror and you start seeing things that other people noticed in you, or you noticed in you, but you never really, like, you know, dig deep into it or paid attention to, like, you start realizing like, wow, like, okay, like, wow. And for me, one of my big things that I want to talk about is during my journey with self-reflection, I realized one of the things I realized about myself is I would not acknowledge my wrongs. Like, if I was in a situation, like, with someone, with a friend or whatever, and they were telling me things about myself, or they were mad about something and they say, hey, like, I noticed you always do this, or you're like this, I would kind of just like I would just get mad. Like, someone that I loved, someone that I cared about was telling me things that they noticed, and I would get mad. So it's kind of just like, how are you getting mad when someone that knows you well is telling you something about yourself? You know what I mean? Like, that person is telling you because they want you to see it, you know what I mean? And you're getting mad. And I would not acknowledge my wrongs, or I would just like start kind of like attacking them or thinking that they're wrong, and I wouldn't acknowledge my wrongs. And I felt like that was a big part of my journey, because I learned, like, listen, like, you're growing up. We're grown now. Like, you need to be able to acknowledge your wrongs. You need to be able to say, like, hey, like, I was wrong, like, I'm sorry, and I take accountability for my actions. And I feel like a lot of people today struggle with that. They can't acknowledge when they're wrong. They don't want to take responsibility for it. Everything is just you, and it's just like, no, like, you have an input too. And I feel like you need to be able to see where you were wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's so important, and I didn't understand that before, and it's just like now it's just like, wow, like, ew. Like, when you realize that you were like that, it kind of makes you like disgusted in a way with yourself. Like, this is how I used to act, but hey, like, this was you. And just know now, like, you're a different person. Like, you know, just know now that you aren't that same person that you were before. Guys, I'm like hoping that I'm making sense, because I feel like I'm kind of rambling. Hopefully I'm making sense, but that was one thing. Another part of my self-reflection was realizing that it's okay to be me, if that makes sense. There were certain things that I knew that that's how I was, but I was ashamed of it, if that makes any sense. Like, I knew, like, okay, Juana, like, this is you, and you have nothing to be ashamed of. So one of the things for me is I am not someone who, you know, likes to go to clubs often. I'm not someone who likes to dance. And in the past, I had a hard time. I thought that that was wrong, or that was bad, if that makes any sense, because if I would be around people that were dancing or that like to go to clubs, I thought that I needed to, you know, I needed to be like that. And I realized during my journey that, listen, like, this is you, and there's nothing wrong with you not liking that. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There was also, I'm trying to think of other things. Like, it's just so many things that, for example, another thing, like, I can sometimes be shy, or when I meet people at first, I go off of, you know, the vibes that they give me. I'm not someone sometimes, and honestly, like I said, I go off of vibes. So it's like, sometimes if I meet someone, I can be like, hey, like, you know what I mean, like, happy. And then sometimes if I meet someone for the first time and I'm not getting like a comfortable vibe, or that they really want to talk to me, I'll kind of just, you know, like, sit back and observe. And I thought that was bad too, because sometimes I thought, like, okay, and maybe when I'm around people I don't know, I should automatically be like, hi, or like, you know, acknowledge them, whatever. And then I ended up realizing, like, hey, like, that's not you. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was part of my journey too, of like self-reflection, because I started learning, like, hey, like, this is how you are, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you are, and no one should ever make you feel ashamed of how you are. You know what I mean? And obviously with some things, like when you get older, like certain things might change, but it's like, if that's how you are, your friends, your family, whoever that you're with should understand that. And if they can't, it's like, hey, I don't know what to tell you, like, this is me. People need to understand that if they're gonna be around you, they need to understand your personality, and they need to know that that's you, and not, you know, bash you for it or get mad at you for it, or whatever the case is. And they should accept you for who you are. So yeah, I was saying before, like, I feel like in your journey, I feel like self-love and self-reflection ties in, because once you reflect on yourself, and once you fully accept, you know, your wrongs, your flaws, and everything about you, you really start to want to change, and you really start to love yourself. Like, it's like so hard to explain my journey, but literally once I started really reflecting and looking at all the things that I did wrong in the past, like, there's a lot of things that, like, I sit back now and I'm like, why was I mad about that? Or why did I respond that way? Or why did I handle the situation that way? You know what I mean? When I didn't need to, when that could have been avoided, when I could have done, you know, something else. And I really started to just really, you know, look at myself. And even when it came to things that I didn't even realize before, like, you know, I didn't know that I was capable of actually really, you know, getting a lot of things done. Like, for example, I think I mentioned this in my other video, but me, you know, paying off my loans. Like, I've literally just been flourishing in the past 2 years, and I love it. Like, I can genuinely say, like, if someone was to ask me, like, what do you love about yourself, or do you love yourself? Yes, I love myself even more. I think even the fact of me just being alone, and I feel like that's very important. Like, I feel like even when it comes down to me, before I could never do things alone. I could never go to the park by myself, or go grab some food by myself. I always felt like I needed to call up a friend, like, hey, I want to go here, come. You know, every now and then, obviously, you know, you want somebody to tag along. but I really was not able to do any of those, like go anywhere alone by myself. And I felt like for me, at least for me, that was a problem, because I feel like you need to be able to know how to do those things alone. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't always feel like I have to be in the company of someone or in the presence of someone. You know what I mean? It shouldn't always be like that, because you're not gonna always have someone there, if that makes any sense. Like, you're not gonna always have someone there. Or even, you know, there are people who are in relationships and there are people who are married. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you have your partner with you, but I feel like it's still important that when you're not with your partner, you know how to be alone, or you know how to do things by yourself and not be too reliant, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? I think just the fact that I've been alone, like really alone, like I really learned how to love myself. I really learned how to do things on my own. I really learned what I'm capable of. And I think that is a beautiful thing for anyone. Like, if you are on this journey of self-love or self-reflection, you will be happy. Like, trust me, like once you figure out all these amazing things about yourself, you are gonna have more of an appreciation for yourself, and you're gonna love yourself even more, because that's literally how I feel. Like, I have more of an appreciation for myself than I had before. Like, I feel like I'm in a better place. And another thing too that helped me was praying. I mean, like, I feel like that's something that was very important to me, you know, making sure that I'm praying, because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm so blessed, I'm so happy, you know what I mean? I know God is always watching me, he's always protecting me. He wants to see me do good, you know what I mean? He wants to see me flourish. Like, I just know that with God, anything is possible. And I feel like, you know what I mean, like the fact, you know, that I was praying was helping me a lot. And praying, but also like, you know, putting in the work, you know what I mean? Because honestly, I know for some people talking about this is very, you know, touchy or whatever the case is, but I feel like sometimes I saw like this meme, I think, or I saw something, and it was basically saying something about like praying, something along the lines of praying, but then also putting in the work. And I agree with that 100%. You know what I mean? Like, some people, they feel like, when it comes to certain situations, right? Some people feel like, okay, like I prayed, why hasn't God given me this? You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, you, even though, yes, you know, you prayed, you have to make sure that you're actually putting in the work. You know, God is going to see that. God is going to see that you're putting in the work. He's going to see everything, and he's going to reward you. So that's just how I, you know, feel about that. But I hope at least everyone goes on this journey, because I do feel like it's very, very important. So I hope that you guys find love within yourselves. And yeah, I hope you're taking this time to really, you know, reflect and think about everything. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, like, it is such a beautiful thing. Like, the amount of progress and the amount of growth that you're gonna see is like, let me tell you, like, go on that journey and just let me know how it is for you. You know what I mean? Let me know. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, guys, I'll be seeing you. Bye.